Welcome, ZASLOW Show 2.0. It is a Wednesday, the 19th of April. Good to have you aboard. We are a Blue Wire podcast presented as always by Anidjar and Levine Accident Attorneys, 800-747-FREE. That's 800-747-3733. No matter what kind of accident you've been in, the first call you make is 911. Then you call Anidjar and Levine Accident Attorneys, as they will get you the money that you deserve no matter what kind of accident it is. Slip and fall, boat, motorcycle, car. Anidjar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Nobody does it better. They're the ones I trust. And if you're listening to ZASLOW Show 2.0, I practically consider you one of my closest friends. So I'm going to send you to my guys, Mark Anidjar, Glenn Levine, Ellie Anidjar, and we're going to make sure you get taken care of. Anidjar and Levine Accident Attorneys, 800-747-FREE. That's 800-747-3733. Got a fun show planned for everybody today. We have a monster sports night. So this is what happens when the Panthers begin to be a team, which is now technically fourth year in a row, when they begin to be a team that you can count on to make the playoffs every year. Not only do you get the Heat and Panthers in the playoffs at the same time, but you will get some nights like tonight where can we get a double dip that involves a Heat and Panther playoff win? That's what we're talking about tonight. You got Heat playoffs at 9 p.m. Panther playoffs at 7:30. This is a very big sports night. We're going to talk some Panther playoff hockey with ESPN NHL senior writer Greg Wyshynski. We haven't had him on ZASLOW Show 2.0 yet. He's excellent. We'll get him on the show coming up. We'll talk about tonight. He's in Boston covering Game 2, Panthers and Bruins. The Heat tonight. Can the Heat take a 2-0 series lead, winning both games in Milwaukee? Look, it'll be one of those scenarios. I think it'll be wrong still, but it'll be one of those scenarios. If the Heat win tonight, people are going to go on television tomorrow screaming about how this series is over. Now, you know how I feel about that stuff. When a team goes up 2-0, the series is over. Can we let both home teams play? Can we let both teams play a home game? Now, that wouldn't be the case tonight because the Heat would have won both games on the road. But you're talking about the one-seed Milwaukee Bucks. So the Heat, if they win this game tonight, we're looking amazing. You don't need me to tell you that. Tonight's going to be hard as hell. Even if the Heat were to win tonight, it's going to be a madhouse Saturday night then at Kaseya Center is what they call it this week. But nonetheless, this is not one of those series where, like, if it was a 4-5 matchup, and the team, or even like, 4-5 is probably a good way to put it. 4-5 matchup, like if the Knicks last night would have went up 2-0, Cavs are in monster trouble. But tonight, if the Heat go up 2-0, you're still going to have plenty of people picking the Bucks. Remember, a few years ago, NBA Finals 21 Bucks went down 2-0. They came back and won the next 4 against Phoenix. Granted, those first 2 games were in Phoenix, but still, this is a Bucks team that many people have pegged to win the NBA Finals. Tonight is a huge game. So we got a poll question out there for tonight, all right? Today's poll question. Go to @ZASLOW Show. You could vote. @ZASLOW Show on Twitter. ZASLOW Show 2.0 poll. Will you still have anxiety throughout tonight's Game 2? Or are the Heat culture playing with house money? That's the poll question today. Will you still have anxiety throughout tonight's Game 2? Or are the Heat playing with house money? And your answers are either still nervous as hell or don't need to be greedy. Right now, with 69% of the vote, 69. Right now, with 69% of the vote, ZASLOW Show 2.0 listener is still going to be nervous as hell during this game tonight. We'll circle back to that. So go and vote. Polls are open all day long. Will you still have anxiety throughout tonight's Game 2, or are the Heat playing with house money? Go vote. Go check that out. So, all right. 2 things I got to talk about at the start of the show that are less serious than the action we have tonight in the center of the sports universe, South Florida. Anyway, so I'm going to New York tomorrow morning. I got business in New York. I'm going to New York tomorrow morning. Now, my plan is, tonight's such a huge sports night. Panthers, Heat playoffs. I'm waking up super early tomorrow. Oh, you know why I'm waking up super early tomorrow? I was already going to wake up really early. You know why I'm waking up super early tomorrow? So my younger son, Jordan, he's in 5th grade, Embassy Creek Elementary. His grade has a field trip tomorrow. They're going to Disney World. They're going to Animal Kingdom. Okay, cool. They need to be at the school at 5 a.m. How stupid is that? Like, I even understand 6 a.m., 5 a.m. they have to be at school, which means we're talking at the latest a 4:30 wake up. 4:30 a.m. Parents work. Like, parents have jobs. It's a regular day. You're making parents wake up in the middle of the night. They have to be there at 5 a.m. By 5 a.m. I think it's so inconsiderate. And then, okay, so these kids are going to be waking up at like 4:30 in the morning with a full day walking around Animal Kingdom in the sun. They're going to be dead. 4:30 a.m., they're going to have to wake up. 5 a.m., they have to be at school. Like, is there no consideration for working parents? And I'm not talking about myself. Look, I do a dopey little podcast, okay? But I'll tell you why. I was planning on waking up tomorrow early anyway. So I got to be up really early tomorrow now. But I'm flying to New York tomorrow morning. I got business. So I'm going to get up early for my son. I was already planning on waking up early. Like, maybe I was going to wake up at like 6, not 4:30. And tonight's a late night. Heat game's at 9 tonight. Ah, so stupid. So anyway, I'm going to wake up early tomorrow. I'm going to do the show. I'm going to do ZASLOW Show 2.0 tomorrow because we have to react to the Heat and Panther games tonight. So I am going to pump out the show tomorrow morning. But Friday, I'm not sure I'm going to be able to do the show. I'm still going to be in New York. So probably not doing the show Friday. I'm definitely doing the show tomorrow morning. You don't have to worry about that. But here's the thing. So I'm going to be in New York for business. Tomorrow, now, I want to go to a sporting event while I'm there. Why not, right? My first choice would be to go to a Knicks-Cavs game. Well, the Knicks game is Friday night. That's actually why I'm going to be there, is for Knicks and Cavs. Okay, I'll get into the details another time. But anyway, so that's off the table. Then it's like, all right, what about Rangers and Devils? Well, the Rangers and Devils are playing game 2 tomorrow night. But it's in Jersey, and to get from Brooklyn to Jersey, rush hour, I don't think I'm going to be able to because I got something I'm in New York for a reason. I got something going on. So I think that's off the table. I'm staying in Brooklyn. That's why I mentioned Brooklyn. But tomorrow night is game 3, Nets-Sixers in Brooklyn, in Barclays Center. I should go, right? Just buy one ticket. I'll buy a good seat. I'll sit in the lower level. I should go. I've never been to a playoff game that's not the Miami Heat. I should go, right? So I think I might go to Nets-Sixers tomorrow night in Barclays Center. So that's scenario number 1 that I had to tell you guys. Scenario number 2, I've always thought about this, all right? Like, what would happen if, what would happen if it's a big Heat playoff game, right? And the same night of that big Heat playoff game, Pearl Jam. I've thought about that many times. Pearl Jam show, Heat Eastern Conference Finals. What do I do? And I'm not even talking about I have tickets for both. Obviously, I have tickets for Pearl Jam. But I'm just talking about the Heat are in the Eastern Finals, whatever. What do I do? And I really don't know the answer. I really don't. Like, I want to give you an answer now. Like, I'm trying to think what I would do. I don't know what I would do. I really don't. It's so hard. But that's like my nightmare. Well, it's kind of coming to fruition next week. It doesn't involve Pearl Jam. So, and the next thing would be like, oh, well, it's WrestleMania. Well, WrestleMania is beginning of April, so it's not going to be a playoff game. But, like what if it was, I don't even know. Whatever. So, that scenario is kind of coming to fruition now because a week from tonight, next Wednesday night, AEW Dynamite is here in Sunrise. Okay. That's going to be a lot of fun. I've had those tickets for a while now. Taking my younger son, Jordan. We're sitting up close ringside. You know how we do. AEW Dynamite is Wednesday night in Sunrise. We're going. It's going to be great. Also that night, Miami Heat, Milwaukee Bucks, Game 5. Which, unless the Heat sweep this series, there's going to be a Game 5. Oh, by the way, also that night, Florida Panthers, Boston Bruins, Game 5. Unless the Boston Bruins sweep that series, there's going to be a Game 5. What am I, my worst nightmare is almost coming to fruition. It's always been Pearl Jam and Heat playoff game. What the hell do I do? Well, I'm going to wrestling, and at the same time, Panther playoff game, Heat playoff game. What the hell do I do? And to be honest, I've been thinking about it for the last 24 hours. I realized it yesterday. I'm really bummed out. And I guess you guys are I've never, ever in my life missed a Miami Heat game, playoff game. Never in my life. One time, I missed a Panther playoff game. It was actually back in 1996. You're probably going to say I'm a great father, but we're going to AEW. My son would be devastated if we didn't go. He's looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to it. And we're not going to have, for my younger son, in 7 years from now, this scenario is kind of over. It's going to be off in college. It's not going to be the same. I got a finite, this is how we change when we become parents, right? I would never have considered missing a Heat playoff game, let alone and a Panther playoff game. And it's not even like this is a pay-per-view wrestling event. It's a regular Wednesday night show. But I guess the priorities change when you become a parent, and this is one of those scenarios where Heat and Panther playoff games are going to go on forever. There's going to be many, many years. I don't have many, many years of going to things with my son. So, we're going to AEW on Wednesday next week. The show starts at 7 p.m. It goes live on TV at 8 p.m. Live TV ends at 10. And then they tape Rampage, the Friday night show, right afterward. We're not going to stay for that. So, I'm going to be there from 7 to 10 p.m. Now, what I imagine is the Heat game will be the Heat's in Milwaukee. So, I'm hoping the Heat game, like tonight, is a 9 p.m. game. If that's the case, and I live very close to FLA Live Arena, if that's the case, I have two options. I'm definitely home in time to catch the second half of the Heat game live. Or I record it, and I hope no one spoils anything for me. That's probably the route that I'll go. I'll record it and hope no one spoils the first half for me. So I should still be able to see at least half the Heat game in its entirety. The Panther game is going to be a problem. The Panther game is probably a 7:30 game in Boston, just like tonight. That means it's going to be over by 10:15. I can't see a scenario, especially in the Panthers building. Maybe that doesn't matter. But I can't see a scenario where no one checks the score around me and somehow I overhear what the score is in the Panther game. So I think what's going to I'm going to miss the whole Panther game. I think what's going to wind up happening is I'm going to have the Panther game on my phone. I'll be keeping up with it during Dynamite. I think that's what I have to do. Now, I'm not going to have the AirPod in. No, I'm going to have it on my phone. It'll be on mute. I'll be looking down. I'll be checking it out. I think that's what I'm going to have to do. The Heat game, though, I'll make it home, I believe, for at least the second half. But I thought about it. like I said, I've never missed a Heat playoff game. Like, I've never missed a second of a Heat playoff game. And I missed one Panther game. I was 15 years old. What are you going to do? And this is not even a huge event. This is not a huge show for AEW. It's their weekly Dynamite. But I think when you become a parent, you realize certain things like this. I got a million more. I got the rest of my life to enjoy Heat and Panther playoff games. I have a finite amount of time going to events with my son, especially as a kid. Doesn't mean that when he's out of college and he's a grown-up and I'm an old man that we won't still be going to events. I think we will, but he's not a kid anymore. So I think probably a lot of you guys can relate to what I'm saying, but that's a tough one. I was super, like, my nightmare has been, what if there's a Pearl Jam show, and because there's a finite amount of time for Pearl Jam, they're going to go away one day. Pearl Jam show versus, like, Heat NBA Finals. That's my worst nightmare. And I'll tell you right now, Pearl Jam show, you know what? I was about to give you an answer. I can't do it. I don't have an answer. I don't know what I would do. Unless I'm actually faced with the scenario. I don't know what I would do. But I've made up my mind what I'm doing next week. We're going to Dynamite. I'll have the Panther game on my phone. And I'll be able to watch at least the Heat second. If the timing works out the way I say it will. The Panther game is definitely going to be 7 or 7:30. The whole game is going to be during Dynamite. The Heat game, hopefully like tonight, will be a 9 p.m. game. Hell, maybe it'll be 9:30. Could be. Could be. So, maybe we'll get lucky there. And if that's the case, I'll be able to catch the whole Heat game, for sure. So, wanted to get those things off my chest to start the show. All right, anyway. Hey, let me tell you guys, water cleanup of Florida, you need to be aware of what's going on with your home right now. Because the weather here has been terrible. Finally, it's gotten better. But maybe the weather here over the last week and a half, you may be noticing you got a leak or you think you might have a leak in your home. Well, if you have a leak, if you have water damage, you're then going to get mold. And if you wait long enough, you got a major problem. That's why when you notice this, you need to call or text Water Cleanup of Florida immediately. Because when disaster strikes in your home or your business, you need that specialized, fast, and reliable service. Water Cleanup of Florida understands how unexpected property damage, it'll overtake your life, it'll overtake your business. Don't stress. Water Cleanup of Florida, they have 60 plus years of combined experience. They're going to handle your restoration project from start to finish. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. If it's the middle of the night and you notice you have a leak, don't wait until the morning. You call Water Cleanup of Florida right then. 954-900-8635. Fully licensed, insured general contractor that provides the one-stop shopping that busy home and business owners require. Look, Water Cleanup of Florida, their entire objective is to make the cleanup and insurance claim, the whole process, painless and hassle-free. They serve the entire Tri-County area, Miami-Dade, Broward, Palm Beach County, 954-900-8635. You could also go to WCUFL.com. Check out over 80 5-star reviews on Google. Water Cleanup of Florida, 954-900-8635. Water Cleanup of Florida, we clean up your schmutz. So, I told you yesterday, the drama has officially begun in the NBA playoffs. That's right. When you got the controversy, you got the technicals, the flagrants, the suspensions. No league does the drama the way the NBA does. And that began a couple of nights ago with Draymond Green, that maniac. I'm telling you, you go back and watch some of these videos. Watch the videos of Draymond. It's mid-fourth quarter. I think the Warriors are ahead. I think it's a one. They're down by 2. Or they were up by 2. I think it's a 2-point game. It's tight. Draymond Green does the thing because he's out of control. And it's a tight game, fourth quarter, on the road, down 0-1, and he's running over to the bench. He's doing the Hulk Hogan. He stands up on the bench. He's yelling at the crowd. He's egging them on. He's calling fans expletives. He's yelling. He's screaming. This is in the middle of the fourth quarter of a road playoff game. You're down 0-1, a tight game. A game you really need to win. And this is the behavior. This is a maniac. Agree or disagree? If this was a football... Remember everything we went through with Antonio Brown? If this was a football player, would we not be talking about, this guy's got CTE? We'd be talking about, this guy, is he mentally fit? This guy needs to seek help. He needs to go see someone. If he was, and I'm not saying that we should be saying that right now about Draymond, and I'm not necessarily saying that we overreact with that stuff with the NFL players, but if he was an NFL player, we watched this with Antonio Brown. If this was an NFL player, we'd be saying there's something wrong with him. He needs to get help. We'd be saying that. It's outrageous behavior. And by the way, the commissioner was in the house. The commissioner was at the game, sitting right there. You know he's got the good seats. So I told you yesterday, he's going to be suspended. Then you had the initial report somewhere in the middle of the day. Draymond Green, not expected to be suspended. Okay. What happened last night? Draymond Green suspended. Such an obvious suspension. And Joe Dumars even mentioned, and this was interesting how he did this, he mentioned that Draymond's past behavior, past incidences, the reputation has played a role in this suspension. Of course it did, as it should. But I told you here. And just contribute. He's never had any remorse. It's never his fault. After the game, he's had like an hour to this point to cool off. He gets the podium, and there wasn't, let my emotions get the best of me, can't do that. That probably would have helped his case. No, he went up there and talked about my leg's been grabbed 2 games in a row. You've had all this time to calm down and think about what you want to say in front of the media when you know they're going to at least think about suspending you. And his entire MO was, they grabbed my leg 2 games in a row. Okay. Doesn't mean you get to stomp on the players. So, Draymond Green now down 0-2 is suspended for Game 3. And the Warriors are in big trouble now. Because you see, I wasn't necessarily saying that they're in big trouble down 0-2 going into Game 3 at home because, all right, we don't really know yet. Are the Kings up 2-0 because they're awesome? Or are the Kings up 2-0 because the Warriors all year are a terrible road team? Well, we're going to find out Game 3. But now, no Draymond Game 3? Yeah, Warriors are in big trouble now. So, let's count the ways, man. Not to discredit Draymond Green playing a major role in their 4 championships. But how many more championships would the Warriors have if not for Draymond Green? He cost them the championship in 2016. Accumulated too many technical fouls. How many technical fouls you got to accumulate to wind up getting suspended? He cost them the championship in 2016. They would have been known as not only would they have won another championship there, but they would have been known as the greatest team of all time. 73 wins, coming back down 3-1 in the conference finals against Oklahoma City, and then winning the championship. They'd have been known as the greatest team ever. Instead, you can't do that. Can't do it now. Cost them the title there in what would have been probably 4 consecutive NBA championships. And you know what? It may have actually been more consecutive NBA championships because his behavior with Kevin Durant on the Warriors forced Durant out. I mean, if Draymond Green wasn't such an asshole, does Durant stay? How many more championships do they win there? And now this year, defending champions, down 0-1, tough spot, on the road. But this is an inexperienced Kings team. These are the champion Warriors. Gets himself suspended for what is a must-win Game 3. Not just cost them a championship potentially, but maybe cost them even getting out of the first round. How many championships has this guy caused them? Has this guy lost them? Not surprised at all that Draymond was suspended. And I'll tell you why. Number one, I very strongly believe he was suspended for 2 reasons. Number one, I told you yesterday, it's early in the postseason. That hurts his case. If this was later in the postseason, conference finals, NBA finals, I don't believe that it's the same. Reason being, it's so early in the playoffs, the league has to let it be known we are not going to tolerate this behavior for the next 2 months. Playoffs are 2 months. This happens in Game 2 of the first round. You can't let it be known that this behavior is okay for the next 2 months. Got to establish that right away. That's number one. Number two, his maniacal behavior with the crowd. It'd be one thing, he's suspended, damn, goes and walks it on back to the locker room, that's it. The commissioner, Adam Silver, softest commissioner, excuse me, take a sip here, hold on, getting all fired up. Sorry about that. The commissioner is sitting right there, softest commissioner in sports, but the commissioner is sitting right there while Draymond Green acts a total fool in front of the commissioner, in front of everyone. And in a league that has a major problem with fan interaction. I mean, all players have to do these days. Russell Westbrook just has to point to a fan sitting in the front, and that guy gets thrown out. You can't throw out fans for doing very little. Paying customers. You can't throw out paying customers for doing very little when you have a player here egging on the crowd, yelling expletives at them, exacerbating an entire situation. Who knows what could have happened? I mean, nothing happened, but this kind of behavior, does a fan decide, hey, you know what? I'm going to take matters into my own hands. Draymond Green just called me a pussy. I'm not having it. You can't be throwing fans out of games, the paying customer, and then watch your players egg on the crowd in that kind of fashion. Can't do it. Have to suspend him. It was such an easy decision. It was such an obvious decision. His behavior with the fans, I think, played a major role in him getting suspended. And the fact that it came so early in the postseason, you got 2 more months left, I think as well, made it a scenario where they're going to have to suspend him. And they did. So there you go. He's suspended for Game 3, and they are now in very big trouble. I'm not sure when Game 3 is. Oh, no, I do know when Game 3 is. Actually, it's tomorrow night. It's Thursday night. So, a lot of juice. That series already had a ton of juice. A lot of juice now. A lot of drama. Can't wait. Can't wait to watch it. Rooting hard for the Kings. Was rooting hard for the Kings anyway. But obviously rooting hard for the Kings now. So there you go. That's what you got going on as far as Draymond Green. He is suspended. A lot of people seem to be surprised. I am not surprised at all. Boston last night, they go up 2-0, 119-106 over Atlanta. That series is stupid. It's really not worth paying any attention to. It really isn't. You also had Cleveland. Cleveland beats New York 107-90. You got a scenario late in the game where Julius, it's about 2 minutes left in the game. It's like a 20-point lead. And Julius Randle goes up for a breakaway dunk. Jared Allen contests the dunk. And Julius Randle falls hard. He is very angry about it, Julius Randle. And I don't know what's going to wind up happening. But I do know that when they get to New York, that crowd is going to be hostile as hell. That's going to be a lot of fun. I would say Jared Allen, not a dirty player whatsoever. That team, Cleveland, not a dirty team whatsoever. If I'm Julius Randle, I'm less upset with Jared Allen than I am my coach, Tom Thibodeau. They're down by 20 with 2 minutes left in the game. Why are Jalen Brunson and Julius Randle still on the floor? Now, I come from the school of thought where these guys can get hurt at any time. But sometimes it's better to not be stupid. And it's not even about those guys. They might get hurt late in a blowout game. We're in a playoff series. You don't need tensions to rise. You don't need any type of scenario that's going to hurt your team moving forward. I think Tom Thibodeau, terrible job out of him late in that game. You also had Phoenix last night. The Clippers were up double figures in the first half of this game. Phoenix, big run at the end of the second quarter. Booker hits a three at the buzzer, right before the buzzer halftime, tied at 59. It was all Phoenix the rest of the way. Suns win 123-109. I find myself rooting for the Clippers. I like when Durant loses. And I didn't necessarily feel that way going into the series, but I'm watching this game. Clippers are good. Not a Kawhi fan, never plays, but I like Tyronn Lue. Certainly wasn't going to root for the Clippers when Doc Rivers was the coach. I find myself, I'm okay watching the Clippers. I want the Warriors to lose. I like Kevin Durant losing. I want that to be a long series. I thought it was going to be a sweep for the Suns. I really did. I obviously am wrong about that, but it looks like I'm going to be wrong about the Suns overall because the Clippers are totally game. So Clippers lose there. They get what they came there to get. They're 1-1. Cleveland, New York. New York went there, got what they got. They're 1-1. Boston's 2-0. That series is not even worth paying attention to. That's a very stupid series. Tonight, obviously, the main event, Heat, Bucks. That's at 9 p.m. At 7:30, Lakers, Memphis. Must-win game for the Grizzlies. Can't go down 2-0 losing both games at home. John Morant's status, very, very up in the air. And at 10 o'clock, a series nobody cares about, Minnesota and Denver. I'm not going to watch any. Well, it'll probably get small TV. Why not? Heat, Bucks, obviously big TV. Why not just put Minnesota, Denver on small TV? Why not? But Lakers, Memphis, that's at 7:30. You got to keep an eye on that. So we got great NBA action tonight. Speaking of which, so I told you guys over the last couple of days, one of our great sponsors here on ZASLOW Show 2.0, Sheets and Giggles. Now, you know the ZASLOW family, we're four of over 100,000 Americans who are sleeping on Sheets and Giggles, sustainably made via lyocell process, the wood of eucalyptus trees grown on sustainably managed biodiverse farms. Sheets and Giggles cares about the environment. They care about how you sleep as well. That's why I got the softest sheets in the world now. Super breathable, hypoallergenic, that's important, all right? Zero static. You got no pesticides, absolutely zero pesticides and insecticides. I got my eucalyptus pillow. You're never going to use any other sheets once you go with Sheets and Giggles. Sheetsgiggles.com. Use my promo code ZASLOW. On checkout, your first order, 20% off. Sheets and Giggles, love having them as one of our sponsors here on ZASLOW Show 2.0. Sheetsgiggles.com. And I already told you guys, so Sheets and Giggles, they want to send one of the shows they sponsor. Levine Show, Greg Cody Podcast, ZASLOW Show 2.0. Now, it's not exactly like getting on the bird and flying somewhere, but they want to send one of their hosts, one of their shows, to Game 3, Heat Bucks this weekend. I did not win the poll. Levine Show won. They garnered 43% of the vote. I came in second. I had 33% of the vote. I'm super proud just to have even been included. You guys were great voting for me. I just love being included. So, but this isn't over, apparently. I don't know what the end result's going to be. I mean, it's Wednesday, game Saturday. I guess we'll find out soon. I don't know what the end result is, but my man Colin, founder and CEO at Sheets and Giggles, he's looking into possible shenanigans because there was a late push for Levitard's show. Apparently that was kind of shady. So I don't know. I want to go to the game Saturday night, obviously. I'll keep you guys updated. So we'll see how that goes. And especially if I'm going to go to the Nets and Sixers tomorrow night in Brooklyn, I got to go see the Heat then. Heat Bucks on Saturday. So we'll see. My man Colin, Sheets and Giggles, sheetsgiggles.com. He might be sending me to Game 3 Heat Bucks. We'll see about that. Now, I do want to update here. Obviously, we're going to do a whole lot of Heat tomorrow. Like I said, we're going to get up super early tomorrow and drop that ZASLOW Show 2.0 Thursday edition of the podcast right early for you guys. But we had a poll question yesterday, right? So, without Tyler here, and by the way, Giannis did not practice yesterday. He is doubtful for tonight. Now, Giannis is as tough as they come. Remember him in the finals. Like, he wasn't supposed to play. He played. He closed out 50 points. Amazing. He's as tough as they come. I don't know that he's playing tonight. He didn't practice yesterday, and he's listed as doubtful. You don't want to go down 0-2 if you're Milwaukee. But at the same time, you kind of trust what you are, who you are. You're the number 1 seed. Heat are number 8 seed. Not that you're going to take Miami Heat lightly. No one does. But there's a bigger picture where it may be, hey, home court advantage doesn't mean as much to us. We're the Bucks. Let's make sure Giannis is good to go game 3 Saturday night. And then you got the distance between, Sunday. Game 1 was Sunday to Saturday. That's a lot of time in between games. I don't know that he's listed as doubtful. But on the Heat side, we know Tyler Hero's done. So who's going to start in his place? That was the ZASLOW Show 2.0 poll question yesterday. Well, the results are in. I already told you. Your choices were Duncan Robinson, Caleb Martin, Victor Oladipo. Robinson started the second half of Game 1. Oladipo didn't play. Caleb Martin's been great off the bench. Coach Spoelstra doesn't like shaking up both the starting lineup and the bench rotation. The winner with 40% of your vote was Victor Oladipo should start. Then Duncan Robinson was 33%. He got my vote. And then Caleb Martin was 27%. I would go Robinson. 40% of you guys voted Victor Oladipo. All right. We'll see. We'll know soon enough, I guess, right? Maybe by the time you're listening, maybe you're listening to this right before the game starts. You're in the future. I'm in the past. You have more information than I do. We'll see. You may know. I don't. But it does bring me to today's poll question. Like I said earlier, are the Heat, will you be angry if they lose tonight? Are they playing with house money? You're not going to be nervous? Or you don't want, let me go. Let me just read it because I'm effing it up. I'm totally flubbing it. The poll question today, ZASLOW Show 2.0 poll. Will you still have anxiety throughout tonight's game 2 or the Heat playing with house money? And the choices are still nervous as hell or don't need to be greedy. Right now, still nervous as hell leads with 70%. For me, I'm still going to be nervous, but when the game is over, the way that I feel will be based on how the game ends. So I'm still going to be super nervous. If the Heat wind up losing by 10, 12 points, never really had a shot late in the game, I will not be mad after the game. Went to Milwaukee, got what we came for. If the game is tight and the Heat had a chance to win it and go up 2-0, I'll be really pissed off after the game. It matters. How the game plays out matters. I understand people are saying, this is house money game. Not going to be nervous. I'm on the side of I'm definitely going to be nervous still throughout the game. But if the Heat, if they get smoked or, the Bucks are just better tonight, I won't be mad. 1-1. Saturday's going to be so much fun. I hope that I'm in the house courtesy of Sheets and Giggles. But if they lose tonight and we had a chance to win at the very end, or we got screwed by that asshole Tony Brothers, I'll be really mad after the game. We'll see how it plays out. You can always hit me up on Twitter at ZASLOW Show. Everybody knows that. At ZASLOWJ on Instagram, where I'm an influencer. Always love hearing from you guys there. NBA playoffs, so good, man. So good. So, before we get to Greg Wyshynski, ESPN NHL senior writer, we're going to talk to him about the Panther game tonight. It's looking like it's going to be Alex Lyon. We'll ask Greg what he knows. He's in Boston. It's looking like it's going to be Alex Lyon again tonight, especially because after game 1, Paul Maurice said he thought Alex Lyon was fantastic. And he was really good. Gave up a soft goal. That second goal to Marchand was a soft goal. The Panthers need to be perfect to beat the Bruins. You have to be great. You have to get power play goals. You can't take stupid penalties. can't give up soft goals. Panthers did all three of those things in game one. A game they played really well. And Alex Lyon was very good. But you got to be perfect to beat this Boston team. Now, here's the thing. If the Panthers go down 2-0 tonight, realistically, they're not going to win the series because an all-time great team in the Boston Bruins, you're then going to have to beat them 4 out of 5. But you can't look at it that way. The Panthers can lose tonight, and the series is not over because for me, I told you this going into the series. The Panthers have to win 1 out of the first 3 games. Can they do that? If they could win 1 out of the first 3 games, if you could go into game 4 needing a win at home to even the series 2-2, you're in the series. That's the objective. Go into game 4 down 2-1. Well, up 2-1, but if you could go into game 4 at least down 2-1, you are in the series. So can the Panthers win 1 out of the first 3 games this series? I don't care which one it is. They're 0 for 1 now. Win game 2, win game 3. I don't care which one it is. If the Panthers can win 1 out of the first 3 games, they're in the series, and I think they can. So that's where we stand right now. So also got to remind you guys, the weather's been so bad lately, you got to make sure that you're covered insurance-wise. With this, if I didn't have homeowners insurance, with this kind of weather last week, I wouldn't have been able to sleep. Not even my sheets and giggles would have allowed me to sleep. I wouldn't have been able to sleep. I'd been staring up at the roof the whole time wondering, oh my God, is the roof going to close? What kind of damage do I have up there? Well, I don't have to worry about that because I go to Brunt Insurance. Bruntinsurance.com, 954-589-2204, from Pensacola to the Keys and beyond. Brunt Insurance and Financial Services, they're delivering the comprehensive insurance and financial solutions tailored exactly to your needs. You tell them what kind of home you have. Hey, not just home insurance. Maybe you don't own your home. Renter's insurance, condo insurance. You tell them exactly what you have. They're going to give you options about exactly what you need. And you're not going to have to worry about damages that you're not going to be able to pay for. I've been going to Greg Brunt and his team at Brunt Insurance for about 10 years now. They've had me covered. So I never have to worry. Matter of fact, if I have a question, I pick up the phone. I talk to Greg Brunt himself. 954-589-2204. The market's confusing. You can't just say, okay, this looks good, sign me up. No, you need to get someone who understands the lay of the land. And Brunt Insurance is fully licensed staff. They're going to sort it all out for you. They know the entire area. Bruntinsurance.com, 954-589-2204.